Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's our Sports Minute. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And joining me today is my co-host and producer, the very talented Mr. Logan Landers. Today we got a special topic, the top 5 quarterbacks in college football 2025. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. I think you're going to be surprised today, especially with my top 5. I'm going to start at number 5 myself as I started off today. Sam Levitt, quarterback out of Arizona State. Even though Cam Scatterbo is gone, the Sun Devils are not going to take a step back because Mr. Levitt, last year, 24 touchdowns and 6 INTs. Coming in at number 4 is a gentleman by the name of Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina. This gentleman came on strong at the end of the year. And I remember some people across the South on some shows. You know what I'm talking about, down in Alabama, you was making fun of his eyeglasses or his goggles he was wearing. But you weren't making fun at the end of the year when he ended up with 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. You weren't laughing then. Coming in at number 3, the Florida Gators. Billy Napier, I know you are happy because this gentleman is going to save your job. DJ Legway. Boy, he's a special talent out of the state of Texas. Just for you, Mark Denham. Boy, does Texas has another good quarterback that's going to be on the national scene. Mr. Legway last year, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But you know what? He can play ball. And I'm going to say once again, he's going to save Billy Napier's job. Coming in at number 2, this guy has a laser for let me say cannon. His dad right now is an NFL assistant. I believe with the New Orleans Saints. He's not mobile, but boy, he can throw that football. Garrett Nussmeier. And for LSU this season, y'all better be in the college playoff because he's the only quarterback returning with over 4,000 yards. And finally, the most hyped, most talented, most spoken college football player coming to this year, 2025 season. He hasn't even started his first 2 years in college football. He comes from family royalty. I remember his grandfather in 1967 when he stepped on the scene for the University of Ole Miss. I remember his uncle when he stepped on the scene for the University of Tennessee. I remember his other uncle, Eli, who stepped on the scene with Ole Miss in 2003. The number 1 quarterback in college football is going to be Arch Manning. And make no mistake, his skill level is serious. Speed, A+. Arm, A+. Accuracy, A+. And the Texas Longhorns are going to be a player in this year's college football national championship scene. Over to you, Mr. Logan Landers.
Well, Vincent, that's a very compelling top 5 there. I've got my list here, and for me, we'll just go number 5. I've got coming into the season, we got Lenore Sellers. You mentioned, if it wasn't for him, I don't think SC, the South Carolina Gamecocks, would be where they were last year and then have as much hype coming into this year. Like I said, he'll make fun of the eyeglasses or whatever, but hey, it's effective, it works, and I think that he will expand this year and take South Carolina to a better program and look good overall. Number 4, going to be a little controversial here, but I get the hype. I understand it, but you got to put together a good body of work. A lot of the guys I have on my list, they did it last year, and I think they continue to do it this year. Number 4, I've got Arch Manning at number 4. Reason being, we've seen him in bits and pieces, right? We've seen him from time to time, but I need to see more out of him before I can put him higher up. I get the hype. I think he's going to be great, but I obviously he didn't play much last year with Quinn Ewers being there. But I think that he'll get together. He'll look good. Like I said, he sat the bench the last couple of years. I think he'll be good. But I got him at number 4 just based off he didn't play a whole lot last year. Number 3, a name that was left off your top 5, one guy who, got ridiculed a lot, especially in the postseason. But I think that he still's got potential, right? It's coming into his later seasons here with the program. That's going to be out in Penn State with Drew Aller, a guy who, as we know, struggled against Notre Dame. We know that, but overall had a really successful season, over 3,300 yards, 24 TDs, kept it clean for the most part, only 8 INTs. He did really well in the Fiesta Bowl, and he's effective, completes over 66% of his passes. I like him as a player overall. That's why he's my number 3. Now, number 2, we've got Garrett Nussmeier with the LSU Tigers. You mentioned he has a cannon, a laser, whatever other accolade or adjective you want to use to describe it. The Tigers got themselves a tremendous quarterback, someone who can just chuck the ball like there's no tomorrow. We know the big win against Baylor in the Texas Bowl. Like I said, he can do anything you want in LSU. They saw it last year how good he was, and I think it'll continue in this 2025 campaign. And number 1, Vincent, and a guy I was a little bit surprised you didn't get on your list here, but I can understand it. My number 1, I've got Cade Klubnik out of Clemson with the Tigers. Really successful last year, close to 3,700 yards, 36 touchdowns as well. And Vincent, that was 6th most in school history just in that year alone. So put his name up there with some of the greats in overall. 43 in total, by the way. He had a handful of rushing touchdowns as well. So I think that for all mine and for all of your picks, we have some really talented players overall. And, we'll look back on this video months later once the season wraps up in 26. And we'll compare our top 5s and see just how well they did. But Vincent, back to you for this episode here.
We always have different opinions. A lot of people are not going to agree with you, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to stay with my number 1 player overall in Arch Manning. And I didn't want to offend anybody, but when you look at the skill set, even though he hasn't played football, you could totally correct Logan. But I think when that first game against the Ohio State Buckeyes, I think you're going to be smiling after that. Probably you might have a shot of cognac or you might be sipping on some beer. I don't know. Back to you, Mr. Landers.
Well, whatever you're sipping on this upcoming season, watching all these great quarterbacks play, enjoy it responsibly. And we thank you all for tuning in here today on Facebook, YouTube, and also listening to our show on our podcast. Thanks to the Believe Podcast Network for distributing that. For our founder and our host today, Vincent Turner, I've been your producer today, Logan Landers. This has been the Sports Minute, breaking down our top 5 quarterbacks heading into college football in 2025. Stay tuned because we got a lot more great content coming up in just a moment.